everyone, it's Miss Garcia. I'm here to provide a two-part video series talking about the test-taking strategies for multiple choice questions of the English 1 and 2 STAAR tests. In this video, I am going to go over the STAAR layout and the strategies themselves. And in the second video, I'm going to walk you through a series of examples of how those strategies look in practice. So let's get started. So for the STAAR layout, some of you have seen the STAAR before, some of you have not. So I kind of want to give you just a brief overview of everything that's contained within the STAAR so that you're not surprised by it. So it is broken up into 4 sections. We have the revision, editing, and reading, which will always be multiple choice, and they're always going to have only 4 answer options. They'll never have any more or any less. And then we have the writing section, which is a written response for English 1. Remember, that's going to be an informative essay, and for English 2, that's going to be a persuasive essay, and we do have videos out that do help you kind of tackle that because there are strategies for that as well. I do want you to remember that the multiple choice sections are always going to be set up with a text like this one, followed by a set of questions. So it's always going to be the text first and then the questions. Now, the reading section is slightly different. It is also going to be set up with the text first and then the questions, but what it's going to do is it's going to provide 2 texts and then a set of 3 sets of questions. The way that that's set up is the first set of questions will be about the first text, the second set of questions will be about the second text, and the third set will be about both texts combined, and I'm going to show you what that looks like. So you might be wondering, how will you know which text the questions go with? You'll just follow the instructions seen as in this box right here. It will tell you which text goes with which questions. So I also want to kind of show you what the instruction types are going to look like so that you're not surprised. The revision and editing instruction types are very similar. Basically, they're going to tell you to read the selection and then go choose the best answer for each question. They're going to give you a brief synopsis of what the text is about. So you want to make sure to read that. And then it's going to tell you when you finish reading, you're going to go either look for some edits or some revisions. The reading instructions are a little bit different, and they look different. As you can tell, they're within this box. I call these text boxes. And it'll tell you use the text and it'll give you the page numbers to answer questions 26 through 32. So the questions from 26 through 32 will belong to this text. But then when they have the combined ones, like I told you about, you're going to use both texts, and it'll tell you use this text and this text to answer 33 through 37. So it's very important that you read the instructions, pay close attention to what it's asking you to do, and make sure that you are looking at the right text when you are answering the questions. So everybody knows the traditional and proper way to take a test, especially a language arts test. First, you read the text in its entirety, then you read each question, and then you read each answer carefully. So you go one question at a time, and you look at it after you've analyzed the text carefully, and then you consider each option and you select the correct answer. And that's all fine and good. It works. Especially for shorter tests, but it can be a little tedious and tiring, especially when it comes to the STAAR, because you do need to remember that the STAAR is a 5-hour test with no breaks, and it tends to contain really boring text. And on top of that, you need to remember that you are doing the 4 sections all in one sitting, so you're not only doing these 3 sections of multiple choice questions with text with them, you're also writing an essay. So it can be very tiring. I know from experience from talking to my students and also looking at their responses on the actual STAAR, they all start out really strong, and then you start to see that maybe they start guessing towards the end because they're just tired. And so I went and I asked them, and they said, yeah, Ms. Garcia, it was just really long. I still had the essay to write, and so I just started guessing at the end. And that's something that we really want to avoid, is just you guys guessing. We want you to take this test seriously. Remember, it is part of your graduation requirement, so you want to make sure that you're passing these English 1 and 2 STAARs. So if the traditional way works, but it takes longer and makes you work harder, there has to be a smarter way. And there's a better way to do this, and that's what I'm going to show you. So the smarter way is to use these 6 strategies and a tool. This is just kind of an overview of them. I'm going to break them down more in depth. The ones that are highlighted in green are going to be the 4 that you utilize the most often for almost every question. So first, you're going to read the questions first. Do not go to the text first. Read the question first. Read all the answer options with that question. Eliminate wrong answers. Select the best answer. If you cannot figure out the best answer, you skip it and come back, and then you can utilize the strategy of use other questions as clues. And then I have a tool here, which is a dictionary. Every single one of you gets a dictionary or can utilize a dictionary during the STAAR test. It does not matter who you are, what type of test you're taking, whether it's paper or online. You can say, can I please utilize a dictionary? And we will provide that to you. So you really want to make sure that you know how to use a dictionary. I know that sounds funny to say, but I have found that some students do not know how to use a dictionary effectively. So if you need help with that, you need to talk to your teacher and we'll show you how to use it. All right, so strategy 1 breakdown. You're going to read the question first. Before you even read the text, read the question first. Now, I know what you're thinking, Ms. Garcia, you're an English teacher. Why are you telling us to skip the text first? I promise you, this is going to work. I'm trying to make sure you get through this test. It is long and it's boring. For me, I can only imagine what it's like for you. So please just hear me out and try these strategies out, okay? So again, before you read the text, read the question first. So by doing that, you can determine what the question is actually asking. The best way to understand a question is to paraphrase it or rephrase it to yourself and figure out exactly at the core, what is it asking? Because sometimes there's a whole bunch of additional information that you don't need. So what at its core is the question asking? Then you're going to determine if the question is a question, sentence, or paragraph specific. What is that? Well, question-specific question is everything you need to answer the question is actually contained within the question and answers themselves. You don't have to go to the text. You can answer the question right then and there with just the information that you've been provided. Then you also have what's called sentence-specific, where everything you need to answer the question is contained within a specific sentence or 2 within the text. You don't have to read the entire text. You just go straight to that line, read it, and then you get your answer. And then you have paragraph specific, where everything you need to answer is contained within a single paragraph. These are less common. So normally the ones you're going to really see are question, sentence, and then whole text specific. Especially when you get to the reading section, the 3rd set of questions where you're having to compare the 2 texts, a lot of times you are going to have to read those. But I'm going to show you that even then, you may not need to read the entire text. Okay, so strategy 1, you're going to read the question first. Now remember, the first 4 strategies are the ones you're going to use the most often. So strategy number 2, after you read the question, read all the answer options. So always read the answer options right after you read the question. Why? Because it confirms what the question is actually asking, and it confirms whether it really is a question, sentence, and paragraph specific. Because sometimes you're going to be like, oh, that's a sentence specific question when you read the question. And then you realize when you're reading the answers, no, I have all the information I need here. It's a question specific. Once you do that, you're going to use strategy number 3, which is to eliminate wrong answers. I don't know if anybody's ever told you, but there will always be at least 2 obviously wrong answers with any multiple choice test you take. It does not matter if you're taking it every day in class or if it's a STAAR test or even the SAT, ACT. There's always 2 answers that are obviously wrong. They cannot be the right answer. So go ahead and get those out of your way. Why? Because then you can focus on determining which answers are right out of the remaining 2 options. So that leads us to strategy number 4. Now again, remember 1 through 4, you're pretty much going to use with every question. So strategy number 4, you're going to choose the best answer. Now I know you're probably like, Ms. Garcia, if I could choose the best answer right off the bat, I wouldn't need your help. But I promise you it's going to make sense. So the best answer will always be the one where all the parts fit. What does that mean? Well, that means that all the parts of the answer are correct. So you're going to ask yourself, do all the parts of the question connect with the answer itself? Because sometimes the answer might seem right, but then it really doesn't connect. The ideas don't connect within the sentence. And if the question is a paragraph-specific question, does the answer connect with the information provided within that sentence or that paragraph? If they're not aligning perfectly, then it's a no-go. And then, does it answer the question completely? There are going to be some answers that might seem like the right choice, but then when you really look at them and inspect them, they don't 100% answer the question. That is not your best option. The best answer will always be the one that connects within itself and connects and answers the question completely. If it does not, it is not your best option. Strategy number 5 is kind of self-explanatory. Skip it and come back. Sometimes the best answer isn't clear, so you're going to skip it and come back. Why? Because a lot of times what happens is if you're struggling with a question and you're like, I just don't know what the best option is. There's 2 of these. They both sound great. You start to overanalyze the question and it starts to kind of frustrate you and you can't really think clearly about that question anymore. So by skipping it and coming back, you give yourself time to possibly gather more information, and it also provides you some distance and time away from that question. When you're frustrated, you cannot think clearly, and that's going to hinder you from trying to answer the other questions clearly. So just relax. You have 5 hours. Skip that question and come back to it. By doing that, you can also utilize strategy number 6, and this is use other questions as clues. Sometimes the other questions you come across will provide clarity for the questions you've been struggling with. How does it do that? A lot of times they'll rephrase the question in a clearer way or provide information that makes that question clearer. And then that's by providing context for the difficult question, right? So let's say it's about one specific text and you're struggling. Well, by reading the other questions, you're going to learn more about that text, and that's going to help you. Okay, so that's where I'm going to stop this particular video with the strategies overview. The next video will be walking through the strategies in practice. That video is going to have 8 examples of different question types that I have pulled from the 2019 English 1 and 2 STAAR. So that way you'll see that these strategies work on either test and on a wide variety of multiple choice questions. Again, if you have any questions about how to use a dictionary or you need clarity, reach out to your teachers. They'll be happy to help you. And of course, I'm always here to help. So I will see you in the next video.